Wait a minute. Are you going to tell her yourself, or should I?
I have no idea what you're talking about. I really do need to go.
Not yet. Mira deserves to hear the whole truth. You love her, don't you?
What does that mean?
I suspected you wouldn't rest until you made a complete fool of me. Fine, you win. When you contacted me by radio and said that you intended to settle on Coella, I was horrified. To me, it meant the collapse of everything.
But I was millions of miles away from you.
Yes, that was exactly the problem. You were so close, astronomically speaking, and at the same time, impossibly far away. You see, I was sick to death of being a hermit. I could endure it while I was alone. But then you appeared.
If you were tired of being a hermit, why didn't you just leave?
My literary agent told me it would be professional suicide. You see, I'm a writer. The whole thing was really a publicity stunt. According to the contract, I was supposed to live as a hermit and write a book about it, which I did. The book became a bestseller. My agent convinced me to write a sequel. Until I finish it, I can't leave. Otherwise, the entire project will fall apart. But I've grown so desperately lonely for human faces. And then you appeared.
But you threatened me.
Not exactly. I said I wouldn't be responsible for the consequences. What I was really afraid of was losing my sanity. I thought about you day after day. Suddenly, I realized that I had to see you. I simply had to. Nothing else mattered. So I came here and hid my ship. And started wandering around dressed as a scarab. Not immediately. After I saw you, Mira, I realized that I loved you. I knew that if you settled on Coella, so close by astronomical standards, I would never find the strength to stay on Kerma and finish my book. Then I noticed that this fellow, Jameson, was trying to frighten you away. So I decided to frighten him instead.
Well, I'm glad we finally met. I loved your book.
Really?
Yes, it inspired me to settle on Coella, though I'm sorry to hear that it was all just a publicity stunt.
It wasn't just a publicity stunt. The hermit life was my agent's idea, but the book itself is completely truthful. I really went through all those experiences. I really felt everything I described. I enjoyed living far from civilization, and I came to love my planet. There was only one thing about which I wasn't entirely honest.
Yes?
Kerma would have been perfect if there had been someone there with me. Someone who understood. Someone who felt the same way I did.
I know exactly how you feel.
Oh, come on, old man. Your hand's been beaten. I'll give you a lift back to Earth.
As I understand it, folks, you only need one planet now, right?
Mira and I are going to get married. Assuming, of course, that Mira agrees. Will you marry me, Mira?
Yes.
I thought so. In that case, 2 planets won't be necessary. Maybe one of you would be willing to sell the mining rights? It's a solid source of income, after all. Might come in handy.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. We'll be living on Kerma, so you could...
Just a minute. We'll be living on Coella and nowhere else.
No! After all the work I've put into Kerma, I can't simply abandon it.
Coella has a better climate.
Kerma has lower gravity.
When you finally decide, don't forget about transstellar mining, all right? Out of old friendship.
Well, I suppose that settles the mysteries of the Castle of the Skegs. We're leaving, Mira. We'll send your ship back on autopilot.
I don't know how to thank you.
Perhaps you'll come to our wedding?
It would be an honour.
The wedding will be on Coella, of course.
On Kerma. On Kerma.
Coella, of course.
That was an excellent investigation.
Nothing special. You would have figured it all out yourself in a couple of months.
Well, thanks. Still, you did a fine thing helping Edward, and in such a way.
You see, I find Mira a little too emancipated and somewhat provincial. After all, I'm a child of the big city.
Even so, it was a noble thing to do.
The real problem now is how Mira and Edward will resolve their planetary dispute. Neither of them seems the type to give in.
Oh, that's practically settled already.
What do you mean? It's obvious. And, incidentally, it fills the glaring hole in your otherwise perfectly logical reconstruction of events.
A hole? What hole?
Oh, come on. It's obvious.
I don't see any hole. Tell me.
I'm sure you'll figure it out yourself in a couple of months. I think I'll go take a nap.
Oh, don't be so difficult. What is it?
All right. How tall was Jameson's electronic scarab, the one that frightened Mira?
About 9 feet.
And how tall was Edward when he was pretending to be a scarab?
About 6 feet.
And the scarab we saw in our bedroom? The one we shot at? My God! That scarab was only 4 feet tall. There's still another scarab.
Exactly. One scarab that wasn't artificial at all. A possibility we ignored because we failed to consider that Coella might actually be haunted.
I see where you're going with this. They'll have to move to Kerma. But then we didn't really fulfill our contract.
We fulfilled it well enough. We cleared the planet of 3 specific kinds of skegs, the varieties produced by Jameson, Olsen, and Edward. If they want us to deal with the 4th kind, they can sign a separate contract.
You're right. Let's be real businessmen for once. Besides, it's for their own good. Something has to force them to make a decision.
I suppose they'll sell Coella to transstellar mining. Should we tell Olsen that the planet is actually haunted?
Of course not. He'd just laugh at us. Have you ever heard of automatic drilling machines being afraid of ghosts?